Hello children, welcome back. And in this particular video, we'll be continuing with government budget. And let's see a few more important concepts from this chapter that you should revise for the exam. Okay, so we will start with foreign exchange market. Now what is this? The market in which national currencies are traded, I mean they are exchanged for one another, is known as foreign exchange market. And here the main participants, I mean the people who trade in this foreign exchange market are generally commercial banks. We have foreign exchange brokers, and there are some authorized dealers which can buy and sell foreign currencies. Okay. The next concept is foreign exchange rate. It is also known as forex rate, and foreign exchange rate is the price of one currency in terms of another, or the rate at which one currency is exchanged for the other currency is known as foreign exchange rate. And basically it is determined by the action of demand for and supply of foreign exchange. And a rise in the prices of foreign exchange will increase the cost of purchasing a foreign good, and vice versa. तो फॉरेन एक्सचेंज रेट बेसिकली एक करेंसी को अगर दूसरे करेंसी में अगर हम लोग एक्सप्रेस करते हैं तो दैट इज़ कॉल्ड द फॉरेन एक्सचेंज रेट. एंड जनरली जब हम लोग इंपोर्ट्स या एक्सपोर्ट्स करते हैं सो वी जनरली लुक फॉर दिस फॉरेन एक्सचेंज रेट, बिकॉज मान लो कि हम लोगों ने इंपोर्ट किया फ्रॉम यूएस, so obviously the rupees will be exchanged with the dollars because we need to pay in terms of dollars to the US seller. तो वहाँ पे हमें कितना अमाउंट ऑफ इंडियन करेंसी जो हमें आई मीन देना पड़ेगा बैंक्स को टू गेट US डॉलर्स, तो दैट इज़ कॉल्ड फॉरेन एक्सचेंज. ओके. Now the factors on which the demand for foreign exchange depends. So the first is to purchase goods and services from foreign country. This is obvious. When we buy when we buy goods and services from foreign country, I mean imports, we generally need foreign exchange. When we pay international loans or interest or any such debts, then also we need foreign exchange. To visit foreign currencies for tours or for pilgrimage purpose, so there also we need foreign exchange. We have to exchange rupees with the visiting country currency. And fourthly, to give loans, grants, gifts, etc. to other countries. So due to all these transactions we need foreign exchange, and this is about the demand of foreign exchange. Let's try to understand the supply of foreign exchange. On what factors the supply of foreign exchange depends. Just the reverse of all these factors. When we export goods to foreign country, we will be paid in foreign currency. When any investment by the foreign individuals or foreign countries or any foreign company, then also foreign exchange comes to India. There is an inflow of foreign currency. When we receive any such loans or grants or gifts from other countries, foreign countries, so in that case also we need foreign exchange. We don't need, we will receive. And when foreign tourists come to India, so they also pay in foreign exchange. So this is how the demand and supply of foreign exchange is determined. Okay. Now comes to the most important part of this chapter, determination of exchange rate. How you are going to fix the exchange rate. For example, now suppose if you want to buy $1, you have to pay 80 rupees, suppose. So that means $1 is equal to 80 rupees. So how this is determined? So there are basically three popular systems of determining this exchange rate. One is fixed exchange rate, which is also termed as pegged exchange rate. Second one is flexible exchange rate. This is most popular one, which is also known as floating exchange rate. And thirdly, managed floating exchange rate. So one by one we will study all these three systems. This fixed exchange rate. Now here in this system, exchange rate is fixed by the government. This is the first key point. Each entry has to maintain a large reserves of foreign exchange with themselves. The value of currency is determined in terms of some external standards like golds or silver or any such precious metal. So this is fixed exchange rate, where the exchange rate is determined on the basis of some standards like gold or silver. And basically this rate is fixed by the government, and every country has to maintain some amount of reserves of foreign exchange with themselves under this system. Okay, now most important one, that the merits and demerits of this system. Some of the advantages of this fixed exchange rate is that first one, it provides stability in the exchange rate. Like the exchange rates are not fluctuated, they are stable, they remain stable throughout the transactions. The second one is it promotes international trade, as the exchange rate is fixed. So the importers and exporters, they will not be worried about the fluctuations in the exchange rate. So they know like how much they have to pay or how much they have to receive. Okay, so this promotes foreign trade. Thirdly, it prevents speculative activities. As we know, the value of currencies, they generally changes every now and then. So there are some people who speculate. I mean, like stock market, we speculate the value, the prices of shares. So in that way also we anticipate कि भाई इसकी value, इस currency की value rise करने वाली है, तो we will buy more of this. तो ये जो चीज़ें हैं, जो speculations हैं, उनको control करता है ये system. And lastly, it promotes international investment, because the foreign country, they know that the exchange rate is fixed, and they will supply more and more of investment in the country. कुछ एक इस सिस्टम के ड्रॉबैक्स भी हैं, लाइक ह्यूज फॉरेन एक्सचेंज रिजर्व्स आर टू बी केप्ट बाय द कंट्री. ये बड़ी प्रॉब्लम है. तो इट इज़ नॉट बेसिकली यहाँ पे प्रॉब्लम आती है डेवलपिंग कंट्रीज़ को. तो उनके लिए फॉरेन एक्सचेंज का रिजर्व क्रिएट करना, दैट बिकम्स अ बिग प्रॉब्लम फॉर देम. So this is one problem. The second problem is difficult to fix exchange rates, as there may be undervaluation or overvaluation of the currency. तो either may be domestic currency या foreign currency, उसकी जो value है, तो कितनी value आप exchange करेंगे for the domestic. तो it is थोड़ा सा वहाँ पे जो वैल्यू को फिक्स करने के लिए इट्स वेरी डिफ़िकल्ट. द गवर्नमेंट के लिए ये बहुत बड़ा चैलेंज हो जाता है कि कितना रुपीस देने से $1 वी कैन बाय $1. तो ये बड़ी प्रॉब्लम आती है इसके अंदर. तो ये कुछ मेरिट्स डिमेरिट्स आप ध्यान रख सकते हैं फॉर द एग्जाम. लेट्स मूव ऑन टू द सेकंड मेथड ऑफ डिटरमाइनिंग फॉरेन एक्सचेंज रेट. ओके, फ्लेक्सिबल एक्सचेंज रेट, ये बहुत ही पॉपुलर सिस्टम है. And here the exchange rate is determined by the forces of market demand and supply. तो जैसे goods की जो prices होती है, in class 11 we have read about that. The prices of commodities are fixed by the forces of demand and supply for the country, for the commodity in the market. In the same way, like this currency market में भी ऐसा ही होता है. तो अगर कोई करेंसी की अगर डिमांड ज़्यादा है तो उसकी वैल्यू ज़्यादा हो जाती है, और अगर उसकी डिमांड कम है तो उसकी वैल्यू कम हो जाती है. सो लाइक दैट. अब नाउ डिमांड डिपेंड करती है. अगर मान लो कि आप अगर सपोज अमेरिका यूएस से आप ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा अगर इंपोर्ट कर रहे हैं, तो ऑब्वियसली द डिमांड फॉर यूएस डॉलर विल राइज इन द कंट्री. तो यहाँ पे फिर डॉलर की जो वैल्यू है वो इंक्रीज कर सकती है. So this is the thing, and the exchange rate is determined where the demand curve intersects with the supply curve, and basically the central bank do not intervene in the foreign exchange market here, and therefore this is known as free rate of exchange. तो ये चीज़ें ध्यान में रखनी है. एंड ये फ्लेक्सिबल एक्सचेंज रेट में, एज जस्ट नाउ आई वाज टेलिंग यू अबाउट, कि यहाँ पे डिमांड एंड सप्लाई प्लेज एन इम्पॉर्टेंट रोल. सो ये डायग्राम को आपको समझना ज़रूरी है, दिस ग्राफ. And here I will explain this. Now on the x-axis we have demand and supply of foreign exchange, and on the y-axis we have prices, I mean the rate of foreign exchange. Okay, so now here you can see here Q, this point Q on the x-axis, this point. तो ये point यहाँ पे जब demand था, so the supply was R. I mean, okay, the rate of exchange was R, and the equilibrium point is E here. So this point is called equilibrium, where this is the demand curve, always slopes downward, and this is the supply curve which slopes upward. तो ये दोनों का intersection हो रहा है point E में, and this point is called equilibrium, where the transaction takes place, where the value of one currency is determined in terms of other currency. तो यहाँ पे exchange, I mean यहाँ पे transactions हो सकते हैं. And again अगर यहाँ पे अगर demand and supply अगर ज़्यादा हो गई, it moves to Q1, तो obviously the rate of foreign exchange will rise to R1, it will fall to R1. So the new equilibrium point will be here somewhere, जहाँ पे ये line I mean this line intersects with this line. So in similarly अगर demand and supply अगर कम हो गई, it moves to Q2, the new point I mean the rate of exchange will be R2, like this point. तो यहाँ पे I mean अगर demand supply कम हो गई तो rate कम हो जाएगा. So like this. So this is how it works. So ये ग्राफ आपको प्रैक्टिस करने हैं फॉर द एग्जाम. ओके, इसके कुछ मेरिट्स डिमेरिट्स देख लेते हैं. जो फिक्स्ड रेट में जो मेरिट्स थे इसके डिमेरिट्स हो जाएंगे, और जो उसके डिमेरिट्स थे इसके मेरिट्स हो जाएंगे. दैट्स द थिंग. ओके, मेरिट्स देख लेते हैं. The first one, no need to keep huge foreign exchange reserves under this system. That is understood. The second one, it removes the problem of overvaluation or undervaluation of the currency. That is also understood, and it helps in optimum utilization of resources. तो जो भी कंट्री के पास में रिसोर्सेस हैं उसका अच्छा यूज़ कर सकते हैं अंडर दिस सिस्टम. एंड कुछ एक डिमेरिट्स हैं, दैट एक्सचेंज रेट इज़ नॉट स्टेबल, it is always flexible, it fluctuates, and it encourages to speculative activities, and it also discourages FDI, foreign direct investment. तो ये कुछ एक problems है in this system. Okay, the third system is managed floating exchange rate, जिसको हम लोग बोलते हैं dirty floating system, and it is a mixture of fixed exchange rate and flexible exchange rate. And in this system, foreign exchange is determined by market forces, and also the central bank fixes some amount of intervention. And here central bank intervene to buy and sell foreign currencies to stabilize the exchange rate movements. तो यहाँ पे गवर्नमेंट का बड़ा रोल होता है in this type of system, and official reserve transactions are therefore not equal to zero. This line has to be learnt properly. तो ये है मैनेज फ्लोटिंग एक्सचेंज रेट सिस्टम, जहाँ पे फिक्स्ड एक्सचेंज रेट एंड फ्लेक्सिबल एक्सचेंज रेट दोनों का कम्बिनेशन है यहाँ पे. ओके, ये डिफरेंस कर सकते हैं आप बिटवीन फिक्स्ड एक्सचेंज रेट एंड फ्लेक्सिबल. जैसे कि फिक्स्ड एक्सचेंज रेट, इट इज़ फिक्स्ड इन टर्म्स ऑफ गोल्ड एंड सिल्वर, एंड इट इज़ फिक्स्ड बाय द एक्शन ऑफ डिमांड एंड सप्लाई फोर्सेस. फिक्स्ड एक्सचेंज रेट इज़ फुल्ली कंट्रोल्ड बाय द गवर्नमेंट, and flexible exchange rate is like the government doesn't interfere, the government has no control. Fixed rate, the exchange rate remains flexible, stable, and here the exchange rate fluctuates. Okay, एक और difference यहाँ पे आप कर सकते हैं devaluation and depreciation का. Now यहाँ पे हम लोग devaluation of currency and depreciation of currency की बात कर रहे हैं. एंड डिवैल्यूएशन में आपको इसको याद भी रखना है, बहुत मतलब इम्पॉर्टेंट कॉन्सेप्ट है फॉर कॉमर्स स्टूडेंट्स. इट रिफर्स टू द फॉल इन द वैल्यू ऑफ डोमेस्टिक करेंसी अगेंस्ट द फॉरेन करेंसी. तो यहाँ पे डी वैल्यू हो जाती है, जो डोमेस्टिक करेंसी है वो गिर जाती है इन टर्म्स ऑफ फॉरेन करेंसी. वेयर एज डेप्रिशिएशन of the currency, it is when the price of foreign currency in terms of domestic currency increases, this phenomena is called depreciation of domestic currency in terms of foreign currency. तो यहाँ पे जो डोमेस्टिक करेंसी की जो वैल्यू है, जो प्राइस है, दैट डिक्रीजेस. In devaluation, RBI undertakes this function of devaluation, but depreciation of the currency happens naturally, and the government or the RBI doesn't have any control over it. Devaluation is done to encourage the exports and reduce the imports of the country, so that balance of payment can be balanced. And depreciation is done to find the correct value of an asset. So like this, these are few questions from this chapter, and let's see a few important NCERT questions. Difference between BOT and BOP already done. What are official reserves transactions and why they are important? Transactions that are carried out by the monetary authority of a country which makes changes in the official reserves is known as official reserve transactions, or ORT. And these transactions include purchase and sale of currency in the market, and basically these transactions are done to balance the deficit and surplus in the balance of payment. तो this is the thing. यहाँ पे गवर्नमेंट या RBI वो बाइंग एंड सेलिंग करती है फॉरेन करेंसी का टू मेंटेन द बैलेंस ऑफ पेमेंट. ओके, नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन है डिस्टिंक्शन बिटवीन नॉमिनल एक्सचेंज रेट एंड द रियल एक्सचेंज रेट. And if you are to decide whether to buy domestic goods or foreign goods, which rate would be more relevant to you? Basically, this nominal exchange rate is the relative price of two currencies. It means how many units of domestic currency needed to be utilized to purchase a foreign currency and vice versa. So real exchange rate measures how much quantity of goods can be purchased with the domestic currency for a similar price in terms of foreign currency. So ये हो गया real exchange, जहाँ पे really the goods are exchanged. I mean imports exports होता है goods का, and जो nominal है that is the relative price. I mean a type of base price. So this is the difference between nominal and real exchange rate. And this real exchange rate are more relevant in these cases, more practical, क्योंकि at the time of buying and selling of goods with the foreign country, तो जो prevailing rate है, जो prevailing price है, that plays an important part. Okay, the next question is explain the automatic mechanism by which BOP equilibrium was achieved under the gold standard. Okay, in gold standard system, gold is considered as a common unit of measurement of a nation's currency, and exchange rate were fixed in upper or lower limits, and it was allowed to fluctuate within those limits only. ये समझना है आपको. पहले होता था जब gold was a standard for fixing the exchange rate. तो यहाँ पे therefore the exchange rate becomes stable under the gold, and due to this reason all countries maintained their individual stock of gold which was used for foreign currency. तो हर कंट्री को एक गोल्ड का रिजर्व बना के रखना होता था, एंड इन टर्म्स ऑफ गोल्ड वहाँ पे फॉरेन करेंसी को एक्सचेंज करते थे. सो दैट वाज द सिस्टम. क्वेश्चन नंबर 5, हाउ इज द एक्सचेंज रेट डिटरमाइंड अंडर फ्लेक्सिबल एक्सचेंज रेट? This is already done. Difference between devaluation and depreciation of currency, that is also done. The 7th question is would the central bank need to intervene in a managed floating system? Explain why. Yes, because without RBI or without the government, this managed floating system of exchange rate cannot be determined. तो यहाँ पे जो बाइंग एंड सेलिंग होती है वो बेसिकली सेंट्रल बैंक करती है to maintain a stability in the exchange rate system in the country. Okay, question number 8 की बात करते हैं. Are the concepts of demand for domestic goods and domestic demands for goods are the same? No, these concepts are different, because demand for both the concepts are not the same, as demand for domestic goods means demand for goods that are produced in the domestic market. And whereas domestic demand for the goods refers to the demand for goods which may be produced in the domestic country or in any foreign country. So in that way they are different. Okay. क्वेश्चन नंबर 9 में एक छोटा सा यहाँ पे आपको इक्वेशन दिया हुआ है. व्हाट इज मार्जिनल प्रोपेंसिटी टू इंपोर्ट व्हेन m इज इक्वल टू दिस, एंड व्हाट इज द रिलेशनशिप बिटवीन मार्जिनल प्रोपेंसिटी टू इंपोर्ट एंड एग्रीगेट डिमांड फंक्शन. सो बेसिकली दिस क्वेश्चन इज रिलेटेड टू द प्रीवियस चैप्टर जहाँ पे हम लोग प्रोपेंसिटी के बारे में हम लोगों ने पढ़ा था. सो you can manage with that. And question number 10, if inflation is higher in a country A than in country B, then the exchange rate between the two countries is fixed. What is likely to happen to the trade balance between the two country? So obviously यहाँ पे inflation high है in country A in comparison to B. So exchange rate play an important part in trading. Now in this question, country A is having a higher inflation than B, and as exchange rate is fixed in this context, it will be beneficial for country A to import goods from country B, and and for B to export goods to country A. Okay, and therefore country A will be experiencing a trade deficit. That means the value of imports will be more than exports, and country B will experience trade surplus, जहाँ पे उसकी एक्सपोर्ट की जो वैल्यू है दैट इज़ मोर देन द वैल्यू ऑफ इंपोर्ट्स. देन वी हैव सम मोर क्वेश्चंस लाइक शुड ए करंट अकाउंट डेफिसिट बी अ कॉज ऑफ फॉर अलार्म, एक्सप्लेन. ओके, एज वी नो कि डेफिसिट होता है तो द एक्सपेंडिचर्स आर मोर देन द रिसीट्स. तो एन एक्सेस ऑफ इम्पोर्ट ऑफ गुड्स सर्विसेज और ट्रांसफर ओवर ए टोटल एक्सपोर्ट्स ऑफ गुड्स एंड सर्विसेज इज कॉल्ड करंट अकाउंट डेफिसिट. And this situation makes a country debtor to other countries of the world, and this situation cannot be considered as an alarming situation because countries can be having some deficits and can take precautions in controlling this deficit. The next one is discuss some exchange rate arrangements that countries have entered into to bring about stability in the external account. तो ये कुछ एक सिस्टम्स हैं जो जिनको हम लोग बोलते हैं एक्सचेंज रेट अरेंजमेंट्स. तो उसके अंदर ये क्रॉलिंग पेग, वाइडर बैंड्स एंड मैनेज्ड फ्लोटिंग, तो ये 3 सिस्टम बहुत पॉपुलर है. आपको शॉर्ट क्वेश्चन में मिल सकते हैं ये क्वेश्चन, अच्छा क्वेश्चन है. तो क्रॉलिंग पेग इज अ सिस्टम ऑफ कंटिन्यूस एंड रेगुलर एडजस्टमेंट दैट अलाउज अ वेरिएशन ऑफ 1% एट एनी गिवन टाइम. तो यहाँ पे हम लोग जो डेफिसिट होती है तो उसको एडजस्ट कर सकते हैं विथ 1% गैप. एंड वाइडर बैंड्स में एडजस्टमेंट्स आर अलाउड इन फिक्स्ड एक्सचेंज रेट्स, ये ध्यान में रखना है. एंड ए वेरिएशन ऑफ 10% कैन बी अप्लाइड इन केस ऑफ surplus or deficit in the balance of payment. The third type is managed floating, where the government has the authority to make changes in the exchange rate as per the situation demands. So my dear friends, that's it in this particular chapter, and I hope all these discussions in the video are going to help you in the preparation for the exam. And thank you very much for watching this, and a very best of luck for the exam.